Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music.
That's right.
Your favorite mom and pop guitar shop and music lesson studio. Deep in the heart of Texas. That's where we're at.
That's right.
It's time for another episode of Ask RNA. I'm so excited. Let's do it. It's been a while. Welcome back. Yeah, it has been. We missed last week, but we had a good reason.
Yes, we did.
That was your feet.
That was my foot.
It's a little weird. A little bit different today.
Yes.
We got a little
couch
here. We were rearranging some stuff.
Yes.
This was in our son's room. And like, oh, we need to move it to the shop, to one of the back rooms.
Yes, because he wanted a little bit more streamlined room. So
it hasn't made it to the back room. It's underneath. No. It's underneath one of the guitar walls. So here we are on the couch. If you're new here, we have a little music lesson studio and small guitar shop in a very small town in rural East Texas.
Rural.
We spend our days teaching music to people and selling guitar strings and picks and cables and guitars and amps sometimes. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. We also shoot YouTube videos.
Cool.
Occasionally. Sometimes bi-monthly even. That's what we're doing today. Today is our FAQ style video that we do. This is our most consistent video we've ever done, is the FAQs. This is episode 385 of Angela answering your questions.
That's what I do.
And me just being a couch potato. So, all right, we're going to get to it. If you would like some RNA Music swag, like this lovely RNA Music t-shirt I'm wearing,
tank top.
You can go to the link down in the description of this video. Oh, they're over there. I was going to grab a shirt and go, they're over there.
Yeah.
You can get some RNA Music swag. We got some.
You know what they look like.
Go down and get you one. Don't buy the hoodie because it's 1,000 degrees right now. Unless it's cold where you live. And then buy the hoodie. So, all right, let's get to it. First question. Matt Haji. Oh, the stand's so far away. I didn't know the question is. Hey, RNA, great show this week. Hashtag Bethany Kids. Wow, your kids are tall. Me, 5'2". LOL. Nice family photos. Ryan, as long as you're having fun with the ZZ Top gig, it's all good. Nice. Song of the day, guys. From what I understand with channel name changes, YouTube is calling it YouTube handles. Yeah, the names are weird.
Handles now.
The display name, your handle.
All
right.
Okay.
Question, Ryan, what kind of drum kits do you have there in your shop that you use to teach on? Thanks for the video. Stay safe. Yeah, Matt is all about the drumming right now. I
love it.
Meant to like film. I'll do some B-roll of the drum kits here in the shop.
Whoa. B-roll.
B-roll. In my lesson room, I have 2 complete acoustic kits. You're probably looking at B-roll now. I have my drum set that I got back when I was in high school in the 90s, which is a mid to late Pearl drum kit from the 80s, mid to late 80s. It's a Pearl DLX, I think. Pretty nice drum kit. My mom got for me. It was kind of like my graduation present. And I am never allowed to sell it because she, spent a summer baling hay in the hay fields to pay for it, really to pay for taxes and other things. But part of it was a drum set for me. So I actually have my drum kit that I really love.
Yeah.
Part of it is actually a double bass kit, but the other bass isn't set up because it takes up a lot of space. And then about a year ago, I think, I got this little drum kit that the students use. And
That's nice.
It's like a little jazz kit, like it's a little 18-inch bass drum and small toms. And I bought it specifically so we could use it to transport easily. We've done some things in town, like the Pocket Park downtown on the square, like a drum set I could pick up and move super easily, easy transport. Instead of dragging a big old kit around. So that's the kit that the kids have been using. However, yesterday, like Levi, one of my students was playing, he's like, this is so small. I'm like, well, Levi, you're just bigger. Like, some of these kids were like in junior high.
Yeah, they're growing up.
And now they've grown, it's like a year or 2 later, and they've grown a foot. And now this little kit seems a little too small. So I'm actually probably going to take the little kit out and put it into storage and bring back a more normal sized kit in here for the kids to play on, the students.
Yep.
Because they're all pretty normal size now. None of them are super tiny anymore.
Yep.
So I'm gonna probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little loud because they're, as you can see, it's like real cymbals, real drum heads and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been experimenting with D'Addario.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Evans drum heads owned by D'Addario, where they got these mesh heads that are really super quiet, and they have some very super low volume cymbals.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of outfitting the lesson room kits with the cymbals and the heads. It would be, even at dealer cost, it would be quite a bit of cash to get 2 sets of cymbals, 2 drum sets worth of cymbals and drum heads for all of them. So
Right.
it may take me a bit to do that. I'd like to do it though, because
Mm-hmm.
so Angela's not back here in the other side of the building doing voice lessons with
Ga, 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 ga.
the thunder of drums
Right.
at the other end of the building. But yeah, so those are the kits we use. I'm a big fan of Pearl drums. I'm a big fan of Zildjian cymbals, of course. Been playing Pearl and Zildjian since I was a kid, and they're great. So thank you for the question, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Next question.
So sweet.
This one's for Angela.
Oh.
Leo, go live. Angela, what is the tattoo on your father's right forearm? Fraternity, perhaps? Hashtag Ben. I put that pickup. The picture is last week of the family with the boys and Pawpaw.
Oh, right, right.
And so there was Pawpaw and our ginormous sons. And of course, your dad does have a tattoo, like right here on his forearm. Do you know what it is? What fraternity?
Yeah, I can't remember what fraternity. He will shoot me for that, but yes,
you can ask him.
He went to Alabama A&M, and when he was pledging, they all went out doing pledging things. And
how many years ago was that?
Oh my gosh, how old is Dad?
77.
He's 76, so a long time ago. 56 years ago.
They had tattoos back then?
52 years ago, something like that, or something. I don't know.
Was he a freshman?
Yeah, it was. It was his first year, and
freshmen are so impressionable.
Yeah, and so he got that. Yeah, but yes, you were correct. It is his fraternity.
How does he feel about it now?
He forgets about it, and the kids, like grandkids, will say, "What's that on your arm, Papa?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my tattoo," because that's the only one he got.
He doesn't have any
He doesn't
tattoos.
have anything else. He never got addicted to tattoos. He never did anything like that. And that was it. And of course, that was in the 60s, when he got it done. So it's like the late 60s. So
yeah.
I don't know. That's what it is.
Your mom was the hippie, but she doesn't have any tattoos, does
No, Mom does not have a single tattoo. No.
Neither do my parents. My parents are not tattooed.
Mm-mm.
I don't think. Do I have?
They just don't. My mom was never that type of personality. She wasn't that, I mean, that's not the type of hippie she was.
It was a different kind of hippie in the 70s.
Yeah, so she was just kind of like, more like peace, love, dope type.
Guitars and weed.
Yeah. She was a lot of Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah, she was a cool hippie. She had her priorities straight. Music and nature.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, his fraternity, Alabama A&M.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Leo. Next question. Fat Philosopher at Fat Philosopher 1047. Ryan, you forgot to answer what type of frets you like. LOL. Yes.
Oh.
So last week he was asking about ukuleles and frets and kind of frets he liked. And part of the question, I got so excited about ukuleles, I forgot my half of the question was like, what kind of frets do you like? Jumbo, extra jumbo, medium frets,
iJumbo,
Jumbotron,
Wee Wumbo,
Columbo frets. It's kind of funny, philosopher. I really don't overthink that too much. I don't know that I have a preference. Like my 91 Gibson Explorer does not have like extra jumbo frets. They're probably, I'd have to Google it. They're probably like medium frets on my 91 Explorer. And like, I like it just fine. Of course, I have a fair few Schecter guitars that have extra jumbos. I think they're extra jumbos. So I have to go Google it. They may just be jumbo frets. So probably the majority of my guitars have jumbo frets. I don't know that I've ever played on like the really super huge extra jumbos, but I don't really care. Like I don't really have a preference. I can play one just as well as the other. I don't really notice that I play better if it's got extra jumbo frets or jumbos or mediums.
Mm-hmm.
I have played, you know, they talk about some of these older Les Pauls from the 70s. They call them the fretless wonder. They got really shallow, small frets. And I'm like, I've played a couple of those. I don't know that I like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I like those really, really small frets. That
what
feels
does it
weird.
do to have it that?
I don't know. I guess you don't have to press as hard. I mean, I guess you can have really low action.
Right. I was thinking the action would be different, but frets would make it harder because there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be like having a fretless guitar, basically.
Okay.
Like a violin, maybe. But like, you know, I don't know. I've never really gotten real deep into it's got to have this kind of fret. So.
Right. That hasn't been the top thing you look at.
Yeah, that's not the main thing. But probably most of the guitars I own probably have jumbo frets. But I don't really have a super preference on it. So great question, though. What do you guys and girls? Do you have a real deep preference on frets that you got to have, sizing-wise? Tell us down below in the comment section. All right. Next question. Brian Strasser, 5695. Get your YouTube handle. What is that quilted blue fade behind you? How much would you be willing to spend for a burger? For instance, a Wagyu burger. A dude in a dress is mentally ill, dude. How light would you go with your strings? Okay. So multiple questions from Brian Strasser. I think he was talking about this guitar. There were actually two guitars. This is the one, he must be talking about this one, which is a blue fade. This is actually a diamond. DBZ diamond. No, it's not a DBZ diamond. My bad. It's just a diamond. I forgot. Monarch. I think that's the name. The Monarch is the shape. So back in the day when we were diamond dealers, this was a guitar that I got in for one of my customers, Chris.
He was a student?
Chris was a student of mine. He's an adult. And he got this guitar. And he kind of learned to play on it.
Yeah.
And then Chris bought a real PRS. Like a fancy core PRS. Like a fancy PRS. And then his wife got him a Gibson Hummingbird acoustic.
Nice.
And so Chris, I mean, he started basically, well, I don't know, this wasn't his first guitar, but I think he had a pretty cheap, like Ibanez or something like that. It's a really budget electric guitar. And then he kind of stepped up to this because he liked it because it was PRS-ish. But then over the years, you know, he's graduated to like core PRS and, you know, fancy guitars.
But that's...
Yeah, no, this is fancy. Like, this was like $1,000 or something back when it was new. But he brought it to me and a couple of basses he has. And he said, hey, man, would you mind doing these for consignment for me here at the shop? I'm like, yes, I'm happy to do that for you. And, you know, like, he even let me play his PRS for like, he left it with me for a week or after he got it. And I'm like, oh, that's super nice. Anyways, but yeah, so this is a diamond Monarch. I think I forget what the color is. It's like an ice blue. It's like ice blue fade something. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. It's kind of green. It's kind of a teal-ish green on the back. Anyways, it's here in the shop. I think he's asking $650 for it. And we got it here. So that's one that we have here on the wall. All right.
Burgers.
How much would you be willing to spend for a burger? For instance, a Wagyu burger.
I don't know what a Wagyu burger is.
It's a really fancy beef. Like Wagyu beef is
okay. Yes. Okay.
Like it's a really...
Yeah, I know what that is now. I've
yeah,
heard it.
It's like a really nice cut. How much would you be willing to spend for a burger? I want to hear what's your top dollar for a burger? How much would you spend on a burger?
$20.
Girl, you high dollar. I know you high maintenance. $20 like for the burger. Does that include fries or no fries? I think it's burger by itself.
Burger by itself. I would spend $20 for a burger. But it has to be like choice meat. Like home ground beef.
Slaughtered.
And, yes. Like they
on
had
the farm.
They had to like have the grinder in the back and like choice seasonings, the best cheese, freshest vegetables, grilled bun, avocados, like maybe even a fried egg, fried onions on it, like top notch. That's what I mean. And like you have to like double fist, like just
giant burger.
Cut it in quarters to eat it. That's like, yeah, I would spend $20 on that.
What do you think my max dollar is for a burger?
$10.
Oh no.
No?
Not that cheap.
Okay.
13.
No.
13 is my magic
I was
number.
Close.
You were super close. You underestimated me though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You calling me cheap. You calling me frugal.
No, I just don't think you're not much of a burger guy.
I like burgers, but I'm not like, there's a new burger place in this town. Let's drive over there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty picky about my burgers. Like, I'm fully satisfied with Whataburger.
But you're just a meat and cheese only guy. So
yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not, and I.
What do you get on your burgers?
Everything.
Okay. What is that?
All the vegetables that would traditionally come.
Jalapenos.
So yes, if I can get them, and then it depends on the type of jalapenos. So, yeah. Like I
sit up straight.
But I also like a good patty melt. You know, like a good patty melt is like my jam. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get meat, cheese, mayo, and bun.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what's on my burger. Meat,
Yeah.
cheese, mayo, bun. Don't ruin it with anything else.
Yeah.
So it's got to be pretty good.
And I'm like pickles, onions, good tomatoes, crunchy lettuce. And then that's just the basic. You know, but it has to have like good melty cheese, not just like that greasy cheddar.
Yeah,
It
yeah. I
has
like
to have
Swiss.
good melty cheese.
I like Swiss.
American.
I like Swiss and cheddar on my burger.
Yes, I like American cheese.
That would be my.
Both
That'd be
white
my
and.
Well,
yellow.
you're super patriotic. So. All right. I like my favorite burgers are probably Chili's.
Mm-hmm.
I like burgers at Chili's. That's the only thing I ever order when we go to Chili's is a burger.
Yeah.
So.
But I love picking everything on the menu, like all the different things. So
I like what I like.
I'm not picky.
Okay.
How light would you go on your strings?
How light would I go on my guitar strings? Brian Strauser also that question. Well, that's a really good question, Brian. Normally, I was talking to someone the other day about this, or commenting on Instagram, Facebook,
something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying Threads. Threads is the new app.
Okay, I was like, you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm not okay. Instagram just launched a new app. It's basically Twitter, but Instagram's version of Twitter. It's called Threads. I was on it on launch day. I joined it.
Look at you go. You're so.
It's like imagine joining Twitter the day Twitter launched.
I think a lot of people did that.
Well, not as many. They said like it took. I saw a post the other day. It was like how long it took to get each platform to like 1 million users. And it was like 2 months, a year.
Oh yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
I saw you looking at that.
Yeah, and then it's like Threads was like 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes of launch, it had 1 million users. 1 million users, and that's already got 30 million users. Everybody's like, bye Twitter. Now personally, I'm not a bigger fan of Zuckerberg than I
know.
am
I was like
Musk.
I don't know. I'd rather stick with Elon.
Yeah, Facebook does a whole lot more suppressing facts.
And Instagram doesn't filter nothing.
Yeah.
They allow anybody to have an Instagram page.
Yeah, so it's
insane.
Anyways.
They don't monitor crap.
I was somewhere online talking about strings with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was some guy. Yeah, it was on the Les Paul. There's a Les Paul group on Facebook, and this guy, young dude, he's like 18. He says, I'm having trouble with my hands. They're seizing up when I play. And like, he plays like 11s or something. 11s or 12s on his electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I've been playing this way I've been using them since I was 16, but now all of a sudden 18, I'm having troubles. And like in the middle of like playing with a set, or like his hands will like seize up, and he's like, what could be going wrong? My hands couldn't have changed that much in 2 years. I'm like, right. Yeah, they can.
Mm-hmm.
If you play a lot, you absolutely can develop some hand problems in 2 years, even if you're friggin' 18. Of course, there's all these guys on there who are like 60 years old. Bro, play lighter strings. And I'm like, bro, play lighter strings.
Mm-hmm.
You're 18. Yeah, you're young. But you can get repetitive use injuries when you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, please.
There are high school athletes that have to ice their knees.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And get carpal tunnel
Mm-hmm.
from, whatever. It's like,
It happens.
just because you've been doing it for a while, your hands are telling you can't use those anymore. Go to freaking 10s, go to 9s. So yeah, I used to play 10s in standard tuning for just normal tuning. And then I would do like 10 to 52 or something if I was going to do drop C sharp or drop D. Over the last couple of years, I've moved to 9.5s. I kind of like 9.5s if I'm in standard tuning. And then I have a few guitars lately I've put into 9s, like 9 to 42 is like a normal 9 gauge, and they do make I don't know if I did it on purpose or accident, I can't remember, but I ordered some 9 to 46, which is like 9s on the high strings and like 10s, 46 on the lows, because I've been doing all this ZZ Top stuff, and he's like bending the crap out of his strings, and Billy plays like super light, like 7s, like 7s and 8s is what Billy plays, which makes sense. Because he's super old, but he plays. But there's a big story about that. Like, he used to play heavy strings when he was a young man. And then he got talking to B.B. King. He picked up played BB's guitar, and he's like, whoa, crazy light strings on BB's. Or B.B. played his guitar, and he's like, what are you doing? B.B. King was like, what are you doing? And B.B. King was like his hero. Like, one of Billy's guitar heroes. It's like B.B. King. And B.B. King was like, why are you working so hard? Like,
yeah,
it's done.
Especially when you're playing for so long.
Yeah, if you're playing night after night, day after day out and stuff. So, and a lot of those guys back, Hendrix, I think used the 8s or 9s. A lot of these dudes back, legendary players, back in the day, used like 7, 8s, and 9s. And a lot of them are older dudes and still playing. So, I've been using 9s a lot lately because I've been playing a lot. ZZ Top stuff, bendy blues stuff, and I've actually kicked around the idea of trying some 8s. I have some 8s here in the shop, and I thought, if I'm playing for like hours at a time, like I'm really doing my homework, playing some stuff, you can play longer with lighter strings.
Right.
And the sound, I haven't noticed the sound difference. Rick Beato did a video, and they took all these guitars and strung them with heavy strings down to really light strings and recorded it and played it back to the recording. They're like, because the myth for forever was heavier strings, better tone. Because Stevie Ray Vaughan played crazy heavy stuff.
Right.
But listening back to the recording, they're like, these lighter strings actually sound better. They were like, the tone is actually better. Objectively, tone is objective. But so that was pretty interesting. But I've been moving lighter and lighter. I have not gone lighter than 8s. I actually haven't. 9s are about as light as I use right now. And they feel like, whoa, this is super easy. Barely an inconvenience on 9s. But I might try 8s just for funsies. So. All right. Thank you, Brian, for all those questions. Now it's time for Comment of the Day.
Comment of the day. Comment of the day, yeah. You make the comment.
This is going to be weird because we're sitting on a couch instead of our chair. All right. Okay. I'm trying not to
punch your back.
Trying to get comfortable. I'm trying to not slouch
I know.
on the couch. Slouch on the couch.
You gotta swing back.
So comment of the day. All right, we're gonna write a song impromptu. I guess I'm gonna play a C chord because I just played that.
Okay, sure.
We take one of the comments from last week's video and write a song with it. Angela makes up a vocal melody and rhythm on the spot, and I make up a chord progression of some kind on the spot. And we don't talk about it beforehand. So what happens, happens. I literally don't know what I'm going to play as I speak right now. So, but I'm going to start with the C apparently. So here we go. Comment of the day song. Here we go.
Beaufort 7338.
I think that's right.
I need to move it closer.
Ha ha! Exclamation point. Those boys are absolute monsters.
says, "Ha ha! Those boys are absolute monsters." Brilliant. Yeah, last week, it was a Just Fun Guitar asked us, like, how big are our boys? Or how tall are our boys now? And, like, they're freaking huge.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back and watch last week's video, you'll see we put some pictures up of our children standing next to us, and then standing, of course, next to Papa, to Angela's dad. And they are freaking monsters. I thought that was funny because yesterday, I was here at work and you were at home at the house, and you texted me like, "Hey, there's 3 dudes at the front door, like 3 guys, at our front door at the house, like knocking on the door."
Yeah. Well, they stood there for a few minutes talking to each other, and I was like, "The boys haven't gone outside. Who is it?" So I peeked out the door because I was writing, and I peeked out the curtain, and I see these 3 men standing on our porch, and I'm like, "What's happening?
What is this?
What's going on?" I didn't invite anybody over. My boys, don't invite people over. They're,
we don't
introverts.
like it. We don't like it when people come to the door.
Uninvited.
Uninvited. And normally, somebody knocks on our front door and I'm home. I go to the door.
Right.
And I'll go outside and I'll shut the door behind me. And I'm like, "What?" And they just look at me like, we're selling Girl Scout cookies. Like, you don't look like a Girl Scout.
We're selling meat. That's usually
we're selling
meat in the back of my
meat
truck.
out of the back of my truck. I'm like, "I got plenty in my freezer. Thank you. Please leave."
Yes.
I just,
no solicitors, please.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of crazy stuff. People will come to your door, knock on it, and then like rob you, or like send a little kid to the door, but they're hiding around the corner. It's like I'm always highly suspicious of that stuff. Of course, I probably shouldn't go outside, but I'm like, I think they're expecting, usually it's a housewife or something like that.
During the day.
During the day, it's probably a housewife at home. When they see some like big beardy dude walk out, like, "What's up?" They're like, it usually takes them up. They usually kind of catches them off guard for a minute, especially like I close the door behind me and I'm like,
"Assert yourself. Assert the
I'm like,
dominance.
You're on my porch, but you ain't coming in my house."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm Mr. Captain overprotective about that stuff. So I was here and I'm like, "Babe," I said, "have the boys go to the door." I was like, I not really, just like, don't answer the freaking door. Just like, let them leave.
We didn't. But I was sitting on the couch, so I was like, and Nick was like, "Someone's here." And I was like, "I know. There's 3 guys on the front porch." And he looked out. He went over there and he was looking. He put his cup down. He was looking out the door. He was like, "Do you want me to answer?" I'm like, "No, just they'll go away.
They'll leave. No one comes.
If they're solicitors, they'll leave a brochure or they'll leave something." I said, but I was like, "It's weird that there's 3 of them. That's weird." But anyways,
that's uncomfortable. Like, could you imagine something when there's 3 dudes at your front doors? Like, that is already like,
yeah, it's alarming.
That's like, I don't like this.
Right.
This isn't.
But they were roofers. They were roofers because we had the storm recently.
Of course, our
roof is God knows how old.
Yeah.
Anyways, but we've had a lot of storms and we have a lot of roof damage. We have a lot of roof damage.
Not us specifically, but people.
Yes. And so they noticed the damage on our roof from a couple of shingles. Have been loosey-goosey.
And they'll come like, "Hey, we're doing the roof, and call your insurance company and we'll redo your roof."
And so I was like, "It's probably roofers." And Nicholas like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm probably, it's probably, just don't answer the door." So, but I texted him, I was like, "There's 3 guys at the door. Are you expecting something or anybody? Because you never know. Because you never know. You just never know." So, anyways, Brian was like, "Send the boys or don't go, or whatever."
Yeah, I think I said. Yeah. Then I texted you later. I was like, "Can you imagine though, like if the door swung open and it was Nicholas and Aiding like standing like shoulder to shoulder, like
behind me,
like just I wouldn't even behind you. Just like the door swings open and it's just them,
right?
Like they both of them wouldn't even fit in the door. Just like standing there, like, "What's up?"
They'll be like, "What's
so
up?"
Like the guys would be like,
"Is your mom home?"
Your roof is shingle. Go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they get unnecessarily, aggressively protective of me.
I don't think it's unnecessary. I think it's probably just the right amount of protective.
They are very protective of me. Very protective. And so They're just funny. But
Yeah,
yes,
you're about to snap some necks. If
but
somebody
they are
looks
big
at-
boys. That
Yeah.
is for sure. I never feel awkward or unprotected when I'm in the store with Ryan, even with Ryan and the boys especially. But all three of them are with me. I'm just like,
Screw all y'all.
you're like, just try. You ain't even coming. You're not even getting a word in edgewise. And I'm pretty feisty myself, so
That's
I
true.
mean, I can handle myself. But anyways, but yes, they are big boys.
I sent her a picture of like, I think, because I'm not even into wrestling, but I know there's like the Undertaker and like Kane. I don't think they wrestle each other maybe, but I thought they were on a team together.
Yeah, I think
they were
on the
they were
team
like
together.
the Bruise Brothers or something like.
Yeah,
These two, like, they were both like really big dudes.
yeah.
I don't even know how tall they are. I have to Google it, but I'm like, I was like, I'm like, you open the front door and there's freaking the
Pro
King,
wrestlers.
like at the door, like, what do you want? Please,
But they're
leave.
such teddy bears.
They really are.
They really are until it comes to protecting their family.
Right,
And then
Yeah.
they let it show.
Until you like, you know, invade Angela's personal space, and they're like, what's about to come undone? That's how, you know, good boys are with their moms. You know.
Yeah. And they'll be good husbands.
Yeah.
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 Very protective daddies.
Yes. Well, you know. All right.
Next question.
Took a moment there. All right, next question. Joe McCarthy. Does the bitter bass man still come around? How can I support your walking goals? Is there a place to sign up? All right. Well, I put a link to that before he could go
Yes.
do the walking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bitter bass man still come around? No.
No.
Gah.
And we invite him.
Right. It's not like we don't say, hey, you should come over. Oh, I'm busy. Okay. It's not that he's allowed. He's not allowed to. Or,
Yeah. No, he could come over anytime.
it's
He
not-
used to come over and just hang out here
yeah.
after hours after he got off work, but he doesn't come around anymore.
Yeah.
So, is he still in town? He's still out of town?
I think he's supposed to fly back today.
Okay.
So he flew out last Friday. He has family in Ohio, which is where Yankees live. And so he was telling me, we talked Friday. We see each other and we talk all the time. We
Right.
text each other all the time. It's just
Dumb stuff. Group text.
Well, funny stuff. You know, so it's not like we haven't had a falling out or like, screw that guy, he's a jerk.
No.
You know, it's none of that stuff. It's just life is just
he's
busy.
family forever,
Life is just
whether he likes it or not.
busy. And, you know, he's had a lot of stuff going on. We had a lot of stuff going on. But I did talk to him Friday, and I saw him in person. I actually gave him a hug, which he hates. It was at the clinic. He works at a doctor's office that I used to work for, and I go to for chiropractor stuff. And he works in the office. He's like, I'm flying, you know, back to Ohio because he had some free airline miles that were going to expire.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want to lose my free miles. So he was flying out Friday. I think he said he was coming back Wednesday. So he should have flown back from Ohio yesterday. So
Yeah.
he was going out, and so we were talking for a little bit, chitty chatting, and then of course I don't know who the front desk girl is now.
I don't know her
But,
name.
so I was kind of standing there in the office, and I was like, all right. And he had his back to me, and he was like typing on the computer. I'm like, I'm like, be careful flying. He's like, oh. He's thinking hates hugs. Probably his least favorite thing in the world besides snakes is hugs.
Our hugs.
And I started laughing, walked out, and the girl at this was like, did you hug him? I'm like, yeah. He's gonna be in a bad mood all day now. And I'm like, it's fine.
I was like, no, he's not.
He secretly likes it.
He loves it.
He's like,
He loves it. He's gonna be in a great mood.
yeah. Now I don't know why he doesn't come over to the shop. He knows when we film, he could come over, but again,
He's a butthole.
life is busy. Well, there's
So.
that. Life is busy. All right. Thank you, Joe. Hope you're doing all right, man. Appreciate you so much. All right. Next question. Know your Joe. 8826. Right after Joe McCarthy. Says, have you ever sold or let go of a guitar that you wish you would have kept?
Try to keep it as concise
Yes.
as possible.
Yes. Okay. Number one was my very first real guitar. My first guitar was a piece of crap acoustic that I have over there. It's like a half size.
Right. Doesn't count.
It's like a toy. Not really. First guitar I actually learned on was a Takamine GZ300. Takamine made electric guitars back in the 80s for a hot minute, and then they stopped. And I got it. It was my parents got it for me, and like I kind of learned to play on it enough until I saved up enough money to buy my Gibson Explorer. Once I bought the Explorer, the Talking kind of went a case. I never really played it that much. And like a big dummy, I was like 17 or 18. I went to Guitar Center and I traded it in for like, you know, an Ibanez, something with a Floyd Rose that didn't work very good. And 28 days later, I exchanged that Ibanez with the Floyd Rose for like an Epiphone Les Paul custom shop, whatever Epiphone thing. I don't even know where that happened. What happened to that? Mm-hmm. And come to find out, Takamine only made electric guitars for a couple of years, and then they never did again. And they're kind of rare. They're not like, oh, it's $3,000 if you find one. They're still like, you know, $400, $500, $600 if you can find them. You just can't find them. But being young and dumb, I didn't realize how actually kind of cool it was. So that's the one I always kick myself about, that one. The transparent black Les Paul, that was what I ultimately had. Instead of that, for the life of me, I cannot remember what happened to it. And that drives me a little bit crazy because I did like that guitar. Mm-hmm. I think I traded it in at Guitar Center for some drum cases because I was in a band, we were gigging, and I had the nice drum set y'all saw earlier, but I did not have cases for it, and we were traveling quite a bit and gigging, and like I was using that kit, but I didn't have cases. So I don't even remember this, but I feel like I must have traded that in for cases. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that makes sense, because I don't know why I would not have that guitar other than that. And then everything else, I sold a Schecter Solo 6 like a year or two ago that I really regret. But I sold it because we bought the Gibson Les Paul Standard. If you go back and see that, there's videos about that guitar, that Les Paul. I took out a loan from the bank to buy it, and then I was like highly motivated to pay that loan off. And the kid came in, was looking at guitars, and I was showing him some of my guitars. He's like, "Are any of these for sale?" I'm like, "No, not really." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I gotta pay off that loan on that Les Paul." I'm like, "Well," because I already had a bunch of Solo 6s. I'm like, "I'll sell you that." Because I got a stupid good deal on it, like a crazy good deal. So if I sold it to him used, I would make actually a lot of profit margin. So I sold that one to that kid. And then later I was like, crap. Because I actually really liked that one. And then one other guitar that I sold, I also sold it to help fund the stinking Les Paul. Mm-hmm. So I sold 2 of my personal guitars to kind of get the money to buy that Les Paul Standard. But one of them I sold to Adam Lamar, and he wants to sell it back to me because he's kind of purging a lot of his guitar gear. He's not playing that, not gigging anymore in any bands at all. So he's kind of like liquidating a lot of his unnecessary guitars. He's keeping his Tele and some stuff, but he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "if you ever sell it, I want to buy it." And he's like, "Hey, you want to buy it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to buy it. I got to save some money." He's like, "I'm not in a rush." So he's like, so I am actually going to get one back, which was the E1, the Schecter E1 Custom that I sold to Adam to get the money for the Les Paul. So one of them, at least, I have a chance of getting back as soon as I stockpile the money to give to Adam. So, but yeah, do you guys? I'm sure we all have. I mean, do you have a guitar that you sold that you regret? Now, I've sold other guitars that I don't regret. And that was interesting because the first time I sold a couple, I'm like, I don't really care about that because I wasn't really attached to them. But I have sold a few that I'm like, I would have paid off that loan eventually anyways. But, you know, I was motivated. I was motivated to get out of debt. We're motivated right now to get out of debt. So, But yeah, there you go. I have sold or let go. Thank you, Know Your Joe. I am focused on getting that Schecter back from Adam, though. All right. Final question. Just fun guitar. I think that's the first slap, actually.
About to fall asleep.
I think that was the first one. Just fun guitar. So your lineage obviously goes back to Samson because your boys are massive. Yes, our boys are ginormic. All right, new questions. 1, what do you make of the new PRS T-shapes? And 2, which is the hottest state in the USA? Ooh. All right, so last week, Paul Reed Smith released two new guitar shapes. One is the Myles Kennedy Signature.
Nice. From
Alter Bridge. It's basically a Telecaster. It looks like a Telecaster. But the body's a little bit different. It's like, if you put them side by side, you're like, well, this is that kind of... I mean, it's T styled, but it's
Right.
slightly different.
Right.
And then they released another one, the same body shape, but the pickup configuration is different than Myles Kennedy's. So.
Mhm.
And everybody's like, oh man, PRS makes a Tele. No. Can't you come up with something new? No. Right?
Mhm.
There's a big controversy because they made the Silver Sky, which is basically a Stratocaster, because John Mayer came to PRS. So PRS made basically a Fender Strat for John Mayer, because that's what he did. And everybody's like, bruh, you could just go buy a freaking Fender Strat. Why do you guys got to make a PRS Strat? Because PRS guitars, they have their own thing.
Right.
Except they have a single cut that's just like a better Les Paul. I don't know. It seems like nobody ever got really pissed off at PRS, except for Gibson. Gibson sued them when PRS made a single cut, which looks like a Les Paul.
Mhm.
Gibson sued the crap out of them, but lost. So F you, Gibson. But, they made the Strat, and then it became their best-selling guitar, even though people were mad that they made a Strat copy. Now they're like, oh, guys, you made a copy of a Fender guitar. I'm like, yeah, but it's better. So, I don't know. I don't really care that they've made one. Who cares? People will buy them or not buy them.
Right.
It's like, friggin' go buy a McCarty 24 Custom 24 if you want. It's not like they stopped selling their normal PRSs and all they have is the Teles. So, I think it looks pretty cool. I freaking love Myles Kennedy. I think he's awesome. And I'm glad he got his own signature guitar. Because Mark Tremonti has had a signature PRS since forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like the first. Either he was the first signature artist or Santana was the signature. I think Santana was the first PRS signature artist who had a signature guitar. And then Mark Tremonti, during Creed era, was the second.
Oh, wow.
So
ways back.
Yeah, like 20 plus years of Tremonti PRSs. So for Myles to get his own signature and it not just be look like Mark's, I think is really good.
That's
I
cool.
think they're kind of neat. I mean, they're a little expensive. That's people's complaint. $2,800 for a Tele. Like, that's a lot of money, but it's a PRS. So, all right. Which is the hottest state in the USA? Miss Angela, do you know?
I believe it's Nevada.
I believe it's where Angela lives. You're
Wow.
smoking hot. You would think so, but no,
It's not.
not
New
even
Mexico.
close. No,
New York. I don't
no.
know. Florida.
Yes.
Florida.
All right. So
Okay.
it depends on what article you read. I said, let me go look. I think my first thought was Florida or Texas.
Oh, yeah. No,
Turns
I
out-
was Nevada.
Well, the first thing I found-
Arizona.
well, you would think. You would think that.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on how you're measuring it. And so one of the websites that said Florida, Louisiana, Texas. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because it's hot as balls in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And just like in Texas, we have
Satan's sphincter.
ridiculous humidity.
Yes.
So it could be like 105 degrees and 95% humidity, which makes the heat index like
120.
120 freaking degrees.
It's hot.
So we're like, in Nevada or like Arizona, where it's like, oh, it's 105 degrees, but the humidity is like 0.
Right.
so
So,
it-
it's just.
So it's a dry heat.
Mhm.
But here's the problem with those states. It's like, yeah, it's 105 during the day, and it got down to 60 at night.
Mm,
So if you're talking average temperatures,
that makes sense.
like how hot is it on average? That's why you would think the desert states would be hotter, but
No, because they get cool at night.
yeah. So how cool it gets at night brings down their actual average temperature. So an average temperature is like Florida and Texas.
Yeah. Because when it gets up to the hundreds, like we have consistent hot days, our mornings will be the high 80s. It'll be like 80, feels like 90.
It could
you
be
know?
89 degrees at 9
Night.
p.m. at night.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I'm in Arizona. Well, it gets down to 72
Yeah,
at
so as soon
night.
as the
I'm like,
sun
it
goes
gets
down.
down to 92 at night in Texas.
Yes.
Like freaking 2 a.m. and it's
And then
92
it's
degrees.
humid in East Texas, so
Yeah.
or northern, mid-northern East Texas.
So it's
sticky.
It
Sticky.
seems like I'm going to call it a three-way tie between Florida, Louisiana, and Texas because it's swampy. Now, there's one more article I found.
Dun, dun, dun.
Written by some scientists, like an actual study.
Yeah.
Guess who's number one?
Texas.
Texas, baby. Whoa! Parts of Texas. They talked about the average temperature in parts of the Rio Grande Valley are freaking hotter than anywhere else in America.
Nice.
It's like parts of the Rio Grande Valley, heat index, average temperature, 24 hours, night, day and night is hotter. It's like one of the third hottest places. Like there's a couple other places in other countries that it's like, yeah, you know, Texas kind of comes in behind that. I was like, what? I have to go find the article. I'll link it. I'll put that article down in the description of this video. And it was like, oh yeah, it's hot as crap. And they said, you know, because it might be like 108 degrees during the day, and then at night it'll go, well, it'll be like 102 at night. No. Hotter than Death Valley. No. Like hotter than like, you know, they talk about Death Valley and wherever it's like, places in Texas hotter than that.
What it is right now.
And they said, yeah, that's the hottest point is in like the Rio Grande Valley. But as you go up north, Houston, Austin.
Right now it's 86.
San Antonio, Dallas, they said it still stays hot because we have some really big cities that have a whole crap load of concrete.
66% humidity. I mean, humidity. And so it feels like 92. It says it's 86 degrees.
But it feels like 92.
It feels like it's 92 degrees.
But that's what I said. In Central Texas, you have some really large cities that are all concrete. And anywhere you have like a massive amount of concrete, it gets stinking hot during the day, but it doesn't really cool down much at night because the concrete kind of holds it. Where like if you go outside of the cities into the country, it's like the surrounding, you know, rural areas around a city. It could be 15 degrees cooler because you don't have tons and tons of blacktop and concrete and buildings and stuff. So it's like becomes like this little heated bubble. So Texas for the win, baby. And there's a scientific paper to back it up. Suck it, Big John. Now, Big John's a Texan now, so he's in northeast Texas, but yeah, it's hot as friggin' balls in Texas. So it's us. We win. Woo! Suck it, Alaska.
So Alaska's like, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, what's the wind chill in Alaska in the winter? Right. All right, coldest state, probably Alaska. Would have to be my guess. Who knows? All right, thank you for the question, Just Fun Guitar. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this entire video from beginning to end, it's time for secret hashtag of the day, which is where we know and y'all know who all watched the video from beginning to end. And secret hashtag of the day is hashtag
Moosive.
Moosive. Moosive. The size of our children is hashtag Moosive. Yep. That's much better than the ones I picked.
Yes.
That's why you're here, to like
exactly rainy wind
to make things better, basically. All right, type that hashtag Moosive with your comment down below, and we will know you watched this entire video and you have joined a super secret elite group of viewers who are better than other viewers, like significantly better than any other viewer who doesn't know the secret hashtag.
I mean, you know.
So thank you guys so much. Please leave your question for next week down below. We'll try to answer it then for episode 386. Woo! Yeah, 386. That's a good number.
Can't believe it.
I know, crazy. And any other news? We got anything going on?
Nope. Oh, we forgot to answer the how can I support? Oh, yes.
Oh no, I did.
Okay.
That was last. Gotcha. I sent him the link.
Yes.
Back then. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. We'll probably have some more videos sometime.
Yep.
Soon. I have all these ideas, and then I just have to execute them. The ideas, not anything else. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next generation.
That's right.
All right. See you guys. Get off the couch. Oh, gosh.
I know.
Couch.
I'm waiting. Because I'm in the skirt.
Couch.
Wait. Wait. Mm-hmm.